A new regulation from the Social Security Administration, SSA, officially took effect on April 14, 2025, and chances are millions of Americans have no idea about it. This regulation requires anyone without an online SSA account to verify their identity in person if they want to continue receiving critical benefits. While this sounds like a reasonable security measure, in reality, it's becoming a serious barrier for seniors, disabled individuals, and those living on SSI. People who lack technological resources, are unfamiliar with online procedures, and completely depend on these monthly payments to survive. And I'm certain that many people are struggling with various issues, unable to log into the SSA website, can't schedule appointments at their nearest office, or have no one to help them complete the procedures on time. Therefore, in this video, through accurate research, I'll analyze what's happening, who's being affected the most, and what will happen if you don't address this promptly. Stay with me until the end of the video, because this isn't just information, it's about vital benefits for you or your loved ones. The situation that you're almost certainly facing. The current situation shows that those most severely affected by the SSA's in-person identity verification requirement aren't few in number. They depend heavily on the Social Security system, but struggle to access modern technology, don't have personal computers, don't know how to use the internet, or live in remote areas, places where the nearest SSA office might be hours away by car. For them, what seems like a simple verification step becomes an obstacle-filled journey. Even worse, the expected alternative to visiting in person, the SSA.gov online platform, has been experiencing constant issues during this critical time. As April 14th approached, when the new regulation took effect, millions of people flooded the website to create accounts and check their records. But instead of receiving help, they faced login errors, system overloads, or worst of all, inability to access the site at all. For many people, this isn't just a technical error, it's desperation. It's the feeling of confusion when not knowing what to do next, when time is running out, and every door of support seems to be closing. And as if that weren't difficult enough, many SSA offices no longer have enough staff to accommodate those coming for in-person verification. After multiple rounds of budget and personnel cuts, scheduling an appointment can take weeks. And in many major cities, there are no available slots left. People are caught between two impossible options, unable to access services online, but also unable to visit in person. If you're experiencing this situation, or have a loved one who's confused and disoriented, know that you're not alone. This is an issue affecting millions across America, and the first thing to do isn't to worry, but to step by step understand what's happening, what's actually required, and what you can do right now to protect your legitimate benefits. Are you in the group most affected by the new regulation? If you're feeling worried, confused, or don't know where to start, you're not alone. The identity verification changes effective April 14th, 2025 aren't just creating administrative difficulties. They're creating real barriers for millions of Americans living dependent on the benefit system. The first and most obviously affected group is seniors, especially those 70 and older, who aren't familiar with technology, don't have smartphones, computers, or internet access. They may live alone, without family nearby, and have no one to help them create a My Social Security account, the prerequisite for avoiding in-person verification. For many in this group, the requirement to visit an SSA office is practically impossible, especially in rural areas where the nearest office might be an hour's drive away. Next are people with disabilities who already face numerous barriers in daily life. For them, leaving home, accessing public services, or traveling to an SSA office is a significant challenge. Not just limited by physical constraints, many also face cognitive barriers that make performing identity verification procedures, whether in person or via computer, difficult without someone's assistance. but not all of them have family members or caregivers standing by to help with these complex procedures. Additionally, there are millions of Americans living on the SSI program, benefits designed for very low-income individuals. This group often can't afford to maintain technological devices and lacks the digital knowledge to use platforms like My Social Security. They are the silently but heavily affected group because just a delay in receiving benefits could leave them unable to afford medication, food, or rent. Things you need to pay attention to right now. According to confirmed information from the official website of the U.S. Social Security Administration, SSA.gov, if people have successfully established an online My Social Security account and completed the initial identity verification process, they can certainly apply for benefits, change banking information, update addresses, and manage their security benefits safely and conveniently online. However, for those who don't have an online account or cannot create one due to lack of technology or support, the SSA clearly states they must visit a Social Security office in person to verify their identity before any benefit request can be processed. The main goal of this regulation is to ensure payments are only sent to those truly eligible, while minimizing the risk of identity fraud, which has increased significantly in recent years. According to a 2023 report from the SSA Office of the Inspector General, OIG, more than 63,000 suspected identity fraud cases were recorded in just 1 year, with most occurring in situations without clear verification. This aims to enhance security and ensure applicants are real people, preventing fraud and information discrepancies. Below are 4 key situations to note. First, applying for retirement benefits. This is the basic benefit that workers receive when they reach retirement age and have a qualifying record of Social Security tax contributions. Without an online SSA account, applicants must visit an office to verify their identity before the SSA can process their application and begin making monthly benefit payments. Second, applying for survivor benefits. These benefits are for spouses, children, or legal dependents of someone who has passed away. To receive benefits from a deceased relative's Social Security record, surviving family members need to verify their identity if they don't have an electronic account. This is a mandatory step to ensure benefits go to the rightful legal beneficiary. Third, applying for auxiliary benefits for spouses or children. In many families, one person may apply for benefits on behalf of a non-working spouse or for children who haven't reached the age of majority, without an online account. These changes also require applicants to verify their identity in person at an SSA office before the application can be approved. Fourth, adding or changing direct deposit information or mailing address. If beneficiaries want to change the bank account receiving their payments or adjust their mailing address for those still receiving paper checks, the SSA requires identity verification to ensure benefit money is sent to the right person. This is a measure to prevent fraudulent behavior or falsification of payment information. However, there are some exceptions to these requirements, such as in urgent cases like terminal patients or prisoners about to be released. Although the new SSA regulation requires in-person identity verification in some situations if people don't have an online account, that doesn't mean all cases must visit a Social Security office. In fact, some Social Security programs still allow people to complete procedures remotely even without a My Social Security account. First is Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI. This program is for those unable to continue working due to a qualifying disability. The SSDI application process can still be completed by phone or mail, and people don't need to visit an SSA office for identity verification if they don't have an online account. This is especially important for those with physical limitations or mobility issues. Second is the Medicare program, as a federal health insurance program for people 65 and older or those with disabilities. Medicare doesn't require participants to verify their identity in person if they don't have an electronic account. People can complete registration steps or change information through other SSA support channels such as phone or mail. Third is Supplemental Security Income, SSI. This program provides financial assistance to those with very low income, typically the elderly, blind, or disabled. Similar to the 2 programs above, SSI recipients aren't required to visit an office for identity verification, as long as they aren't changing payment information or making requests related to programs that require in-person verification. Clearly distinguishing between programs requiring in-person verification and those that don't helps ensure flexibility in benefit management while reducing pressure on vulnerable populations. In a context where the SSA online system frequently experiences errors and many SSA offices are overwhelmed, allowing remote registration methods for SSDI, Medicare, and SSI is a necessary and reasonable decision, helping people access benefits without being hindered by administrative barriers. What can you do today? When facing a new administrative regulation, especially when it involves an essential monthly income source, the most important thing isn't to worry, but to know exactly where you stand and what you need to do to avoid disruption to your benefits. Below are actions you can take today, whether you're a benefit recipient or a family member supporting someone in a vulnerable group. The most effective solution to avoid in-person verification is creating a My Social Security account, an official SSA electronic portal that allows you to apply, track records, and update information remotely and securely. Setting up this account is very simple if you have internet access and some technical support from family or community. You just need to visit www.ssa.gov/myAccount and follow the instruction steps. When you have a verified online account, you won't need to visit an SSA office for most common services, such as applications, banking information updates, or tracking case progress. However, if you cannot create an online account for personal or technical reasons, don't wait until there's an urgent matter to contact the SSA. Proactively call the SSA to schedule an early appointment at your local office. Booking an appointment in advance will help you avoid excessively long wait times and ensure staff are available to guide you specifically about required documents. The SSA's hotline is 1-800-77-21213, TTY 1-800-325-0778, and operates Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. Once you have an appointment to visit an SSA office, the next important thing is preparing all necessary documents. Missing a document could force you to return multiple times, wasting time and effort, especially for elderly or disabled individuals. Documents you should prepare include Social Security card or confirmation letter, photo ID such as a driver's license or state ID, birth certificate if needed, banking information if you want direct deposit, and any recent notification letters from the SSA if available. Finally, if you or your loved one is struggling to complete these steps independently, don't hesitate to seek community support. There are many nonprofit organizations, senior assistance centers, churches, and community legal groups providing free help to assist you in creating an SSA account, understanding the verification process, and even supporting with form completion or appointment scheduling. This is when community connection becomes extremely necessary, and you absolutely have the right to ask for help when needed. So, if you belong to a group at risk of being affected by the new SSA regulation, act as soon as possible. Check your status, create an online account, or schedule an appointment if necessary. Don't let administrative procedures interrupt the essential benefits you deserve. Our channel will continue analyzing Social Security policies and providing timely solutions for the community. Follow us so you don't miss important information.